When did the Treasurer's Office or Treasury first become aware that Mr Longo would not seek reappointment as chair of ASIC?
I'll have to take that on notice. I know Mr Longo wrote to the Treasurer advising him that he didn't intend to seek reappointment, but I can take it on notice as to when that letter was sent.
What internal process has been established to replace the chair?
We have commenced a process to establish a panel to consider potential candidates. We will be, I'm not quite sure, Senator, just where it's up to, but we either have or will be appointing an external recruitment firm to assist us with the search, and then we will be going through a standard merit-based appointment process, and I'll be chairing the panel. If you are after the sort of step-by-step details.
Who's on the panel with you?
So that's, I think that's not quite finalised, but I can, if I can check, and my colleagues from Markets Group who are managing this process should be able to give you an update when they are appearing, which is later this morning.
Later today, okay. All right. So what's the Treasurer's role in the appointment process?
So there's no particular role for the Treasurer other than, so I would have a discussion with the Treasurer about whether there's any particular candidates that he would he'd be interested in having considered through the merit-based process. I mean, that's what would normally happen, but he hasn't got any role in relation to the panel.
Okay, so just so I understand, so do you give a short list to the Treasurer, or does he suggest some people as well?
So I would expect that if there were any candidates that had independently come to the Treasurer's attention, he would bring them to my attention, and the panel and I would make a decision as to whether we would consider them through the process.
Do you have a candidate evaluation framework, or do you have some sort of a scheme that the panel will use?
So we would do a normal sort of assessment against the sorts of skills that we need for someone in that role.
Okay. Can you provide that on notice?
I'm happy to see what we can provide.
When do you think an external agency a search agency will be appointed?
I think shortly. That would be my expectation.
Okay. And are you aware that ASIC currently has civil penalty proceedings in the Federal Court against United Super, which is the trustee of the Cbus super fund?
Am I aware? Look, maybe, Senator, it may have been brought to my attention, but it's certainly the case that Markets Group would be aware of those details.
Yeah, okay. And are you aware that the chair of Cbus is also the president of the Labor Party?
I wasn't aware of that.
Okay, well that is a matter of public record.
Yeah, sorry, Senator, in the sense that it's, I haven't particularly looked at the chairs of all of the superannuation funds, yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to get to is, what is the Treasurer's role in this selection process? He has put on the record before that the particular individual who's the chair of this super fund and the president of the Labor Party is his mentor. So I'm trying to get to the bottom of what exactly will the Treasurer's role be in this process.
What on earth have those two propositions got to do with each other?
Well, I'm asking what the Treasurer's role is. He's selecting the chair of ASIC.
But commentary, I don't understand the proposition. What?
It's pretty straightforward. ASIC's investigating Cbus. Cbus is chaired by the Labor Party president, who is also the Treasurer's former employer and mentor. That's a conflict.
How on earth is that a conflict of the way that you describe it? It's a smear. I understand the smear. I understand the smear and the sense of entitlement that drives that smear.
Well, I
understand the hostility to the superannuation sector and working people having a fair crack in retirement, but really here you've got to put up or shut up and actually
I'm happy to do
try
that.
and build the logical relationship between these
happy to do that. I mean, as you would be aware,
expert casual smear that you've taken as your general approach on these questions.
Well, I mean, as you know, the Treasurer has
ASIC's
actually
got a function to play. They're playing the function.
Well, as you know, the Treasurer has used his role as Treasurer of the Commonwealth to sign false public interest immunity claims to cover up materials provided to him by Cbus in his role as a Treasurer.
You in an overreaching
right?
Again. Just
it's
provoked
true.
you in an overreaching
It's true.
Again.
The Information Commissioner found that. The Information Commissioner found
Senators,
that he was
can we please just go back
commercial and confidence protections
to a line of questioning?
Improperly. It's a conflict of interest.
Minister, can you just...
Well, you're obviously very sensitive about it.
Senator Bragg, do you want to go back to a question?
So my question is, does the Treasurer get involved at the end of the process, i.e. do you give him a piece of paper with a short list, or is he involved now? It wasn't clear from your earlier testimony whether he's giving you names or whether you are doing the work at arm's length in the Treasury.
So I'm doing the work. I'm responsible for running a recruitment process, but this is a statutory appointment within the Treasury portfolio. So I will provide recommendations to the Treasurer, and as with all statutory appointments, the Treasurer will then take them through the standard process of the standard appointments processes.
Okay. Has there been any declarations around conflicts of interest in relation to this matter?
In relation to what matter?
The potential conflict of interest with the Cbus matter we just canvassed?
Sorry, in relation to the recruitment of the new ASIC Chair?
The question is, have there been any declarations of potential conflict of interest by the Treasurer in relation to the appointment of the ASIC Chair?
These things are entirely disconnected from each other, Senator Bragg. I'm just not. It's an impossible question to.
It was not a question for you, Minister, with respect. So it sounds like the answer is no.
So the Treasurer is not on. So he's not part of the recruitment process that I'm running. He's not on the recruitment panel. Like all recruitment processes, the panel and I will assess candidates and will provide recommendations to the government.
Okay, I'll just finally then. It sounds like the answer is no. That's fine. The Code of Conduct for Ministers suggests that if a minister has a past personal association with the company and is required to make a decision that affects that enterprise alone, or only a small number of enterprises of which the enterprise is one, the minister should pass responsibility for that decision to another minister, right, as nominated by the Prime Minister. So, in this case, have there been any declarations made in relation to the appointment of the ASIC Chair?
Not that I'm aware of.
There's just no relationship between these propositions, Senator Bragg.
I think the official was about to answer the question.
You've got to be able to sort of set up a question where there's a sort of logical relationship between the sort of beginning of the question and the end of the question.
I think the official was about to answer the question.
Well, of course she's going to answer the question, but it's impossible to answer a question that is illogical and incoherent.
Thanks, Minister.
I'm just pointing out that it's not. You know, when the question is word salad, you can't really respond to it.
Okay, but okay, fine. Well, I mean, but my understanding is that the Treasurer has previously recused himself from the Media Bargaining Code due to potential conflicts of interest. I mean, the Treasurer, there are conflicts that do arise in this country. You might be aware of that.
The Treasurer makes all of the appropriate disclosures and deals with all of the conflicts as anybody would expect a Treasurer would.
Okay,
so just to be clear, Senator, I think that if we got to the point in the process where once I've run the panel, I have recommended candidates, at that point the Treasurer may have an awareness of a conflict, and once it's clear who are the candidates who are potentially concerned, then that would be the point I would have thought that the Treasurer could potentially declare a conflict. It's not clear how you can declare a conflict if you don't know, or it's not like he's not part of the process of considering the the candidates through this merit-based process that I'll be running.
But you are aware that the Treasurer in the past has recused himself from certain